What's up, everybody? This is Daniel Landsman. Welcome to day 24 of 50 Days of Data. We're almost halfway there, so thank you for sticking with me and checking out my stuff. If you haven't seen my other videos, please subscribe and like them. I would really appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys are getting some value out of it. Today, we are going to be speaking about latency. This lovely, lovely thing that adds drag and potentially makes a lot of problems in the data space. So if you guys aren't familiar with latency, basically what latency is, you can think about it as like impedance from an electrical circuit, or you can think about it as like a blockage sort of in a hose where water is flowing through. It essentially, just adds time and resistance to actually, moving the data from one place to another. So things that add latency are if there are multiple hops and your data has to travel from California to your data centers in Kansas to Europe. And that would add milliseconds on the latency, the timing that it would take in order to, travel that distance. Obviously, this stuff is traveling at the speed of light, but, it still has to go somewhere. So it's something to be aware of and conscious of, from my personal background in advertising technology. There's timeouts that occur in certain hops with the pieces of data. And, if you do not respond within a certain amount of time, like, you will be timed out and your data is not going to be valid because the gateway, is already, pushed through, or the data is already pushed through the gateway through the next portion of the hop. You can also run into tons of problems if there are multiple server hops. The reason that this is just because, that there are possibilities that the integration is not healthy, and there are some errors with, the API documentation or SDK documentation that you have implemented. Furthermore, with each of those hops, it adds times, and as it adds more time, you could theoretically lose a portion of the data, if it doesn't make it back to wherever it is that you are. So for instance, I've actually really in real life experienced this where there's West Coast data centers that are pushing information to the APAC region, so that's Asia Pacific, or Southeast Asia for you guys who don't really know that. And what'll happen is that the data will potentially not make it back. So you make a call out to Asia, you say, hey Asia, what's up, here's some data. Asia says, hey, thanks for the data, and you get that portion of the response most of the time. The place where it drops off is when you're trying to capture analytics based off of whatever is happening in Asia. So call to Asia, hey, what's up, Asia? Asia responds, hey, what's up, West Coast? We got you. Awesome. Now you say, hey, Asia, how did that all go? Asia says, yeah, it all went great, but instead of actually hearing, yeah, it went all great, it drops off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere around Hawaii or something like that. And that's a real thing. So that's why, there's a lot of different companies that put data centers all around the globe and to make it so that they're trying to be as close to the source or consumer or end user, as opposed to being just server side from one individual location because of stuff like that. So just wanted to bring those 2 points up. If you guys were familiar, awesome. You definitely know what I'm talking about. Thumbs up my video, like it, share it, comment on it, tell me that this was helpful, this was not helpful. Really appreciate the feedback. And if you guys got something out of this, please let me know. Thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Cheers.